Average Size Brothers Show. 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 Give your best smile, whatever you want.
All right. Episode 11 of the Average Size Brothers podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Connor.
And here today, we got someone special for you.
Very special.
He was actually casted as the first pick of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo back in the 2000s. But they didn't give it to him. They said he was too tall. Matthew Lillard came in and took it. This is Blank Hannah. We don't want to say his first name because he did not want to say it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yes.
He's a little sensitive to light. That's why he has sunglasses on in here.
I forgot you already had it on.
Yeah.
See?
It's solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I can't handle him.
I can't.
Maybe I'll take them off in a little bit.
Maybe you'll get to see the real Hannah.
Beautiful eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
You gotta take it in sips.
Take it in sips.
Yeah.
What does that exactly mean? Like,
You know, you said the real Hannah. You know, people can only handle the sips at a time. You don't want to get carried away.
How was it when you first met your wife?
What do you mean?
Did she like take you in sips or she chug you down?
I'm not quite sure. with that question, yeah, sips.
She's just taking
little steps, baby steps.
Like I'm saying, like when you like first met, were you like friends for a while? She was like taking sips
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Was she drinking through a straw, or was she going straight like mouth to the glass?
This is a weird analogy.
I'm just asking.
No, it was slow. You know, turtle wins the race sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't think
So kind of like one of those.
Hannah, you know?
There's some discouragement along the way, but
They're just like, man, I don't know about this guy. I kind of want to backwash this.
Well, I am kind of an odd duck.
But you just celebrated 19 years, was it?
No, 15.
15. I couldn't
Getting
remember.
carried away.
I couldn't remember.
Hey, that makes
I
me
see
pretty
that.
old. 15, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot I did.
Yeah.
I actually made a social post.
Yeah, Hannah is more of a. He's kind of like, if you think about like a robot that was constructed and like put. No, or you know what? No, he's like a caveman.
Yeah.
He's more like a
I'll accept that.
He's a caveman living in the modern day. Imagine you find Bigfoot and he has no idea about anything.
I'm learning.
Exactly, he's still learning about things. He just got an iPhone like a year ago.
It's been a little bit longer. It was old.
Oh, man.
And he had what? He had like one of those old flip phones, prepaid flip phones.
I'm considering going back to a phone in my home. Landline.
Landline?
Yeah, that's
Rotary.
I like that.
I want a phone where you go...
What happens?
Remember those phones?
What happens when Elijah, right?
Yeah.
I always get mixed up on the names. What if Elijah one day he's has a computer and he's looking up he's like, oh my god, I can call a phone sex hotline, and then he takes your landline when you're gone, calls up a sex hotline and racks up a bill.
This is an extreme scenario.
It's things that could happen with a landline phone.
Well, I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm thinking more of, is a landline phone even possible at this point in time?
Granted, Elijah's only, 9?
I'd do 10.
I was close. See, look at me.
No, you're on it.
I'm good.
Dude. Steel trap.
I had no clue.
I can barely remember what day it is.
Right. So walk me through that process. You come home, you're opening the mail, and you're like, give me what you're saying. All right, so you're looking at the mail, and you see a $1,000 phone bill landline to Kitty Cat Express.
Boy, I don't know. I've never even thought about this scenario.
How upset would you be? Would you be like,
Would I upset? I mean, of course I'd be upset.
This is exactly how it would go.
I would.
This is what
No.
I'm thinking.
No, I would be like, I can't believe this dude was on that rotary in there.
I mean,
That's what you'd be thinking, like, wow.
as an outside
I can't
perspective.
just saw it.
Because you gotta figure, a rotary phone is like in the middle of the house.
Yeah.
I
To
said
a
you did it
wall.
when you were gone.
Oh, well, okay, I guess you did say that.
Or he figured out a way to strap it real far and bring it to his room. He just cranked it while he was cranking it.
Dude, none of this I want to think about. This scenario, I'm going to say, will never happen. But, in theory,
In theory.
I mean, it'd be violent rage, I'm sure. It'd be my first, I mean, you know, I react pretty strong. You know, but hopefully, I would dial it back. Be like, okay, we've all done things that aren't, you know, on the up and up or the best. We gotta learn from our mistakes. Oh, he'd be paying the bill. There's no question.
How would he pay it, though?
With labor? Well, whatever that labor consists of, I don't care.
You better start your own phone chat.
I mean, if he was like 18 or 19, like if he was like in college or something, and he's still living there, it's like, oof, you know.
That's one semester you're not going to, pal.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say you may not be coming home from school. You're like
You're gonna be working all summer.
I mean, yeah, you might be working on.
But then again, it's not that hard to get $1,000. What? That'd be like 3 paychecks, maybe.
Depends on
Depending
what
on
it
the
is.
job.
Depends on what it is. You know, if he has connections, that's one thing. But if he's just doing nothing.
I'm sure like more young people watch this show. Tell them what it was like growing up in the 60s.
I didn't grow up in the 60s. Like 90s. More of a 90s child. What do you mean? I mean, sometimes I feel like I've said some stories and you guys are like, oh my, that's terrible. That's great. What things like that were
Do
happening?
you remember the first time you, first encounter with Hannah?
First encounter with Hannah was he was a union steward, and I had to sign up for I had to get my stuff in to be part of the union, and he took all that down for me, and he sent it in, and that was the first time, because I was still working back in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
That was before I went out that was before I went out into the belt with you. And after that, I went onto the belt. Didn't work across from him yet.
Okay.
And then, I think
But how long had you been there?
Less than a year. Because I
Okay.
remember I went through peak season loading,
Okay.
and then I was across from you after that. And I think our first really real encounter had to be me like talking about like eating ass and stuff, and you were like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And I would just say some off the wall shit to you. And I think that's why you really liked me so much. Because,
Okay. Well, it still wasn't a year.
mm-mm.
Well, that's saying something. You might be the reason I break these rules I
Yeah.
set. You know, I don't really like to talk to someone until a year of time has passed. You know, that's a commitment. It's a commitment to make to friends or acquaintances.
Was that something you did when you were growing up? Like, how would you get to know somebody if, like, you're like,
Okay, when I was younger, I would say it hasn't changed much. Sometimes I'm still completely clueless to how the world works. When I was younger, I just assumed a pack of kids are running over there. You just join in. You know what I mean? One of my best friends to this day, and it's probably true, but I deny it. He says I invited myself to his birthday party.
I can see it happening.
You know what I mean? Like, and the scenario was, we're in elementary, and I might have like a mutual friend or someone who I talked to, and he was like, "Hey, you come to this party?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And and the scenario part was I approached him, the other person, and said, "Hey, am I coming to your party or what?" And he always says that's kind of how it was, and he was like, "I guess if you want to come," you know. And I was like, "Okay," you know. I just assumed everybody we're all friends, right?
Hannah is the guy who shows up just to eat your guys' food.
Oh yeah, something cooking. Not as much as it used to be.
He taught me some shit. He told me back when I was living in a $500 a month apartment, not having a whole bunch of money. He said, "You hear anybody having dinner? You just go over. You go over. You
Right.
eat.
People are
Take some toilet paper with you. Grab whatever you need and head out. That's it." And I guess that's...
It's not...
Was that... when you were growing up and you first moved out, was that how it was? You kind of just like...
Probably more as a teenager. You know, if you're at someone's house, you know, and they you know, the folks or whatever say, hey, we're cooking something. You guys want to stick around? Like, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I could eat. And if he goes to somebody else's house and there's like dessert out or something, it's like, well, what do you got there? Oh, really? Chocolate cake? That sounds pretty good. And then you know, kind of, you say that, and they might say, well, would you like some? They may not want to give you some, but they're going to ask. And he's like, yeah, I'll take a piece. They're not going to turn you down. You know what I mean? They're not.
Oh my god, I love it.
People are friendly.
Only friendly because they have to be.
Well, I mean, it's a fine line, but yeah, it's a way. Hey, I'm just saying, it's a great way if you're young.
You're lightly forcing it on them to do that.
I mean,
it's just a lie.
Maybe, but if you're young and it's like you're trying to make it, but you're going back to your parents or friends or somebody, and it's like, you know, might try to catch dinner while you're there.
You ever now think back to those times and you're like, man, I might have overstepped some boundaries.
Oh, I'm sure that's. I've said before, I hope I'm not on any lists of any kind. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but.
Might be.
I don't know. I look at it this way. If people came to my house, I always say, hey, if I'm home, stop by. You know, it may not be convenient, but we need to be able to be open to people coming over and hanging out. It may not be the perfect time. Yeah, you stop by. I love when people stop by. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I'm busy, but hey, they stopped by. If they just said, if someone said, hey, I haven't eaten, I might be like, oh. Okay. Well, if you want to come in, I mean, I wouldn't stop. See,
I guess I can cook something.
It would get me if someone said, "Hey, I haven't eaten." Like, no, okay, come on in. I guess we'll get something together.
I'm gonna do that next time. Be like,
It's
man,
that's so funny though.
like, I'm kind of hungry, Hannah. Huh?
But I would hate for someone to be hungry and not say something.
Oh, I'm gonna come over next time and be like, me and you better come over one day when we're starving.
I would
We're like,
never do that.
I mean, the options may be limited.
I'm like, Hannah, I'm just having
But what
2 days.
What if I had some like a chicken casserole or something going? You be
Fuck that. I need no chicken casserole.
What?
I would instantly be like, you know what? Don't even worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
Maybe like, that's an old
More for
person
me.
meal.
What?
More for me.
Fine. You know?
More for me. I don't fuck with
gosh.
chicken casserole.
That's funny.
I couldn't do that.
I would kindly decline my
Okay.
offer.
Just imagine something else. What if I had some chicken barbecue?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
See.
Uh-huh.
I'm down for chicken
What if I made
barbecue.
some potato salad?
Mm-mm.
I had
No,
no.
Chicken pieces and macaroni.
I didn't say salad, whatever salad.
Salmonella?
Yeah, I said potato salad. You know?
Potato, Mm-mm.
Okay, never mind.
That's a big potato no.
So just something that you might like.
Then I probably would.
Okay. See, it wouldn't be that weird. I'm not saying you gotta. I'm not making a bed and saying you can stay the night.
He's definitely dropped some good stuff on me. He actually even tried to get me to quit my job. And then, as I was approaching that deadline to say, all right, Hannah, I told him, I was like, all right, I'm putting in my 2 weeks, I'm out of here. And he's like, maybe you should just stay. Just a little longer. And then look where I'm at now, I'm still there. And this guy talked me into it for so long, and I was like, I don't know, man. And then I finally worked up the courage. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna go do something. And then he's like, pump the brakes a little there. Hang on.
Yeah, it was a tough situation. I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure. I thought, not to go into details of what may be going on in life at the time, but I thought, man, I don't know. Maybe I'd hate to do this, and be the one that pushed you at that time. Had you left when I first mentioned it, I'd have no qualms. I'd be like, good for him. He's doing something else.
I did go to California because of you.
See? I encourage anybody who's young, working a job, and thinks they're stuck. That's the worst feeling. You shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, this guy's the
You
biggest
should feel,
one.
but if you're saying like, I can't leave this job. Well, when you have a vacation or something, go somewhere. See something else. Just don't hang in your little town or whatever it may be and think this is it. I mean, the world is small. but it's also there's still things to see, like that aren't in your hometown. So yeah, that made me happy when you went.
That was a good time.
I was just like, that is
I almost
awesome.
didn't come back.
And see, and that's gonna happen. Because here's the thing: you think, oh, I can't get a job. You can get a job anywhere. When I was
I'm glad though I don't live in California now.
Right.
God forbid.
Things worked out. Things are wild like that. But you can get a job anywhere. If you want to work, you can get a job anywhere. If that's your concern. And when you're young, you think, oh, I need this and that, and I'm working for a pension. What are you talking about? Pension? You're 21 years old. Who cares? I didn't even care about insurance when I was 21 years old.
Care right now though.
Well, obviously, if there's responsibilities, kids, things like that, I get it. But when you're young, Connor, and you don't have some of those things, dude, and go out and do something. Have fun.
Wise words.
You work on it.
I will.
Dude, we did go to the D.
We did go, yeah, and yeah, he's the. This is the guy. I can't remember. We talked about it in one episode.
I
We
think
were
that
at-
was may have been my first encounter with him.
Yeah, it
Probably
was. It
honestly.
definitely was. And so Hannah is what? You're 36.
Be 39
Yeah, ooh.
in August 19th.
It'll be 39. Anyways, so I told Hannah, I was like, "Hey, man, we've been talking about going. Well, actually, we haven't been talking about going. I was just like, man, I wonder if the D, Tenacious D, that's right behind his head.
Sorry.
We were like, yo, we got to go see these guys sometime, maybe if they go on tour. I looked it up. Closest one was Tennessee. So I just went ahead, bought 3 tickets, told them, hey, you have no choice. You're going. I already bought them.
Bold move. But I gotta salute that. To an extent, I have to salute it.
So we went, and when we got to Tennessee, we went to the parking garage.
Can we start on the way there?
The way there? What do you mean?
Bro, I remember hitting my vape. I was sitting behind him and blowing it up. He's like, "What is that?" He was like, "My car's smoking."
I know it was on fire.
Dude, the funniest response
Which
I've
was
ever
possible.
heard.
It was an electric vehicle. You were in a terrible seat. I was like, he's gonna die.
And even funnier is I think when we stopped for food and we kind of like talked, and that's when you realized that he was just in his like own little world.
Yeah. I don't think
Because
that's when he whipped out.
Hannah didn't know what Snapchat was. He didn't know any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
was.
when you still had your flip phone.
Did I still have a flip phone?
Yeah, that's when you whipped it out. I think you were making some calls in the corner.
I probably.
I loved it. It was the funniest thing.
It was tiny too. I love that little
I
tiny.
know. I was like, this guy's a national treasure right here walking around.
You still got it?
Oh, I do.
Oh yeah.
If it still worked, I would still have it.
I guarantee you would.
You ever look at it sometimes, just like.
Do you remember the phones that they slid up and you had a little keyboard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Do you remember those?
I love those too.
Remember those like razors?
Juke?
I don't know what it was. Yeah, like
The
it was like a
juke where you-
switchblade.
Yeah, you juke
Oh
it.
yes, I do. Well, you
Oh
remember
my
phones
God.
like when I was a kid. If someone had a cell phone, that guy was. You probably didn't like that guy because he was rich and somebody special, whatever. But before they became cell phones, you had the G.I. Joe phones or whatever. And they were huge, and then they got real small.
Yeah.
And now they've gotten.
What was something?
Real big.
What was something when you were in your teens or like your younger years that you got and you're like, I've made it. I've done it, and I'm
No, I remember when the Xbox came out. That's the one I always say. And I saved my money. I was already out of school working full time, and I was like, I gotta save my money. I want to wait a little while because it came out at Christmas. You know how Christmas is big price.
Oh, yeah.
I want to wait. Price really didn't come down that much, but I was like, I gotta have this. I gotta have this system because it's like for me, this was it. They weren't gonna make any more systems best of. How could it get any better? In my mind, this was top tier. The technology would never exceed it.
Yeah.
I really did. And the reason I wanted that is because I had a friend who did all the computer game stuff, and he was playing Max Payne. Do you remember that game? Do you know the movie?
I know the game you're talking about.
Anyways, it had that whole slow-mo shooting thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, unbelievable. How can they do that? Seriously. I was blown away by it. And, of course, computers are a little bit ahead of systems, and then when Xbox came out, that was one of the games that was available. I was like, oh, this is it. This is the pinnacle of gaming systems.
This
And
is the best time of my life.
I really thought that was it. How could they get any better? Of course, I was way off. But
did you ever play the PlayStation 1?
I think there was a game on PlayStation. There was a football game that wasn't Madden that I remember playing. It was called Game Day. Do you remember Game Day?
Mm-mm.
I think that was on PlayStation. I remember I had friends who went to Purdue, and we'd always play Game Day. And Madden was still huge, but it was like this alternative football game that I do remember liking. Now, I don't know why, but I remember playing that game.
Hell, after this, we ought to play some Guitar Hero. You ever play Guitar Hero?
Oh, I know Guitar Hero.
Oh, that's what we play after this, huh?
Old school Guitar Hero?
Yeah. Oh, old school, baby.
Really?
That's the first one, second one,
Really?
third one. Rock the 80s. I got it all, baby.
Wow.
You're gonna shit a brick.
I remember the first one. I remember when that came out, and I thought, this is
insane.
This is exceeding my expectations for video games. This is mind-boggling. So, yeah, I haven't really got past.
Well, hell,
that
when you
level
were
of
a
game.
kid, the Nintendo 64 was out, wasn't it? What about those?
No, hey, here's the deal. When I thought Sega was like, whoa, Sega's intense. I mean, what was it? 32-bit, and the game. Of course, they always lure the kids in with the advertising. They had those commercials and kids' heads blowing off and stuff from 32-bit.
They were like,
games.
yo, if you're not playing Nintendo 64, fuck you!
Yeah, and so, the 64 came after the Sega. Didn't it? I mean, my memory.
I think so.
I have no clue.
Nintendo 64 was the newer one of
Yeah, I think
the
pretty
consoles.
sure.
Because I had more combat on it and everything. And
Yeah.
what about arcade?
No, if you want to talk arcade, I just took my son. They have that little tiny arcade in the mall. It's got like 3 arcade machines, and we played a little bit there. I asked Tom, I was like, "Do you used to be an arcade in the mall?" But it was in a different spot. It's like a Asian boutique now or something, a nail shop. I said it was a bigger room, and it was all arcade games. And I said I didn't get to do this very often. And I probably came here with a friend or something. I said it was that there would be lots of kids in here.
Yeah,
Now,
what was it like that?
Well, I was at the end of kind of the arcade thing. Late 80s. It was starting to kind of, because people had systems at home.
Right.
Like, a lot of people had Nintendos. I didn't, but a lot of people did. But yeah, arcades were fun. I still love arcades.
Well, when was the death of the arcades? Were you sad to see them go?
I was set, yeah, kind of, because it was kind of like a weird communal experience. Like, there was all these other kids, you know what I mean? And you don't quite get that when you had a system and you could have somebody over.
Yeah, check it out, guys, I'm rich.
When you had an arcade, it's like, yeah. When you had an arcade, there was tons of kids there. And you could play a lot of stuff. I loved playing pinball. Now, I usually had a pinball machine in an arcade.
Pinball wizard.
No, I'm no wizard, but I love playing.
My old wrestling coach, remember Mr. Skinner?
Mm-hmm.
He's the number 1 pinball player in Indiana.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a weird stat.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
He is.
You would never think it if you saw this guy either. You'd be like, wow.
Isn't that
Is
crazy?
he like a pinball savant?
I guess he's really good at it. He's like a
Do you-
national champion
okay.
or something.
Do you remember Cedar Crest Lanes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had a pinball machine in there. And
They had Mortal Kombat 4 over there.
and they also had Terminator 2 pinball. And I remember, oh yeah. I remember playing that game, and I thought, oh, I need this in my house.
You can get pinball machines now for your
Oh,
house.
probably.
You can.
They're probably vintage expensive.
They're like $3,000.
Probably.
Did pinball help you with your first encounter with a woman?
Get out of it. I don't think so.
Were you like?
I wasn't a savant like your coach.
Oh, well, hey, it might help some people.
But pinball doesn't help. Yeah, for the tilt. When you're just pounding the machine.
Come on, you fucking game! Jesus Christ! I can take it.
You need a pinball machine now.
I do need a pinball machine. Maybe I should get one.
You need one down in the basement. No, they're salty. They're salty.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get no pinball. It'd sit there. I got the fucking Mortal Kombat machine back upstairs.
I know.
Barely play it.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
That's too bad. That's usually what happens.
But then again, it wasn't as expensive as the fucking actual full size ones.
Right. See, do you remember the old shoe carnival? It used to be over by, yeah, and they had that's where Mortal Kombat was. You only went to shoe carnival to play Mortal Kombat or shoot basketballs.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, so it's like that. Another game I remember at the bowling alley was there was a game. It was like an Aerosmith game,
What?
It was an Aerosmith game. You can look it up. I can't remember what it was called. It's probably called Aerosmith. But like you had to like shoot. Either you threw records or you shot records. I can't remember. And like Aerosmith, at the end of these scenes, they would show up as the band at the end of the the fight scenes you'd have. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember, but yeah.
Don't want to miss a thing.
No,
When I dream of you.
it was pre that stuff.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I remember some video games.
Elevator.
Did you ever play the old Nintendo where they had like the racetrack thing you'd put out and you had to like actually run on the mat to run the guy?
No.
You've ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, there was this mat. And two of you line up on this mat and you would physically run in place as fast as you could and it would run the guy on the screen.
God.
I can imagine.
It was bad. So you would try to get down on the floor and tap it with your hands, sort of a thing. Nintendo
I feel
fingers.
I feel like you.
What did the Paul Blart fucking scene in the mall where he's trying to jump the hurdles?
Oh
Running
no!
in place like that?
There was you could do hurdles too. I think in that game.
Yeah.
It's of course that's kind of dating me.
Could you imagine being in an arcade, running in place, trying to jump hurdles, and you're fucking...
That was the home entertainment center. I can't. They probably did have it in arcades. They probably
Paul Blart, they did.
They probably did.
They
I
got
never
Paul
saw
Blart.
that.
Fail.
Yeah,
I
dude.
remember it so vividly. Could you imagine being in an
that's funny.
arcade, failing the fucking
And
hurdle?
see, then he also had Rock Band, I think, in that one. Or
Yeah,
Rock Band or Guitar Hero,
something like
whichever
that.
one. Because he was playing Kiss. So.
Yeah. So those are kind of like, if you're talking about games, that's like what I remember most, really. You know what I mean?
So make you sad that you're old?
Because of the games? Or just in general? Well, when you bring it up, I'm not excited about it.
What do you think? Do you ever think that like when you're like 60 or 70, you're gonna be like, man, there's all these like new things that I can't do because I'm old now?
I say I don't care. Because my life goal is to be old.
Yeah.
That's my dream. You've heard that. You've heard this.
Right.
The old man on the porch.
Old man, take a look at my life. I'm alive like you were.
That's his...
Yeah, I want to be the guy that the neighborhood kids are somewhat terrified of. But they push those boundaries, a little bit. And they earn the respect.
Reminds me of like an 80s movie where like they roll on their bike. They're like, all right, we're going to hit this fucking house. Old man Hannah lives here.
I'm all right with that.
But be careful.
So I would hate that.
Catch you.
I would hate that now. But when you're old and like, you got to do something.
Like
It's like a game.
They're going to be like, I heard he has like a dungeon that he keeps you in. They got a little Tommy Jones down in there.
Say, hey, I would love such a scenario of.
But would you? Because then what if like that got out of hand and people actually thought you had kids down in your basement?
I think he'd play into it even more.
You make a good point. I mean, he does make a good point. I don't know. The world is...
Because you're going to be old and there's going to be like a cop fucking wrestling you around. Like, where are the kids at?
What? He's not going to knock on my door?
Yeah, like they start beating you up.
You're saying he wouldn't knock and I could be like, no, come on in. There's nobody here. It's cool. I couldn't
Maybe, but...
You think I'm going to be out on the porch and the guy's just going to grab me?
Rumors have gotten so out of hand.
What if you get good cop, bad cop, and bad cop comes up and he's like, where's he at, old man? Huh? Put your fucking stogie down.
I mean, if that happens, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. I'm not sure what... I mean, I might be like... Hopefully I have befriended a few children in the neighborhood. Like, I can call out and like, dude, tell them what's going on here. You do
a whistle.
My dream is like those kids, although they'll earn my respect and, and they'll know what's going on, but don't tell the rest of the neighborhood kids. And they perpetuate the fear.
They're like, oh yeah, old man Hannah?
Even though that we're solid. I'm solid with a couple of them.
Like, say, their 8-year-old brother, and they've already gone
Yeah, they've already graduated.
They're like, oh.
If I'm still alive.
They're like, oh, you're talking about old man Hannah's house, huh?
Yeah.
Be careful treading on those waters.
Yes.
Tommy Jones, I hear, his bones are still in the basement.
I would love it. And see, I'm not going to... If I'm super old... And like
yeah, they see you outside like walking. You're like, there's that fucking pedophile.
Hey!
Oh my god!
Why am I hunched over too?
We're walking in a cane. I don't know. I'm trying to get my mail.
No, I'm not in a walker.
I'm trying to get my mail.
Yeah,
I'll accept the cane.
I imagine that it's those rumors, but he's still nice as can be out on his front porch, waving at everybody. Hey guys,
It's just a fucking
he's
egg
mowing.
No, see, that's it. Most likely, in that scenario, I'm letting things overgrow.
He's not a pedophile, by the way.
It's going to be wild.
You letting things overgrow. That's
You know,
what?
yeah.
Oh,
I want it to
man.
be, at that point, the house might just get run down.
Imagine if it gets to that point, though. People calling you pedophile, then what?
Well, then I guess I gotta move.
That,
I know what, I don't know.
that makes you look even more guilty, I think.
I feel like
once you move.
that's true. I feel like at that point,
Yeah, we ran that fucking pedophile fuck off. He's like,
hey, back in the old days, that's what they did.
Exactly.
I mean, there are probably some innocent people who were run or maimed or killed in these small towns.
That's when you leave a note at the house like, I'm out in my next neighborhood. Something like that.
You know, but,
I'm gonna call myself Pete Jones.
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't want it to get that far. No.
No, God forbid.
I would like to think. I'm kind of this way now. Like I just don't care. I could see myself being like, I don't care. You know, let it fester.
Call me what you want.
I mean, you know, because you get to a certain age, you just start.
What if they like start throwing rocks at you though, and you're sitting on your porch?
Yeah, what's with these kids? I mean, maybe I encourage
They
it.
might get violent.
That's true.
Maybe I'm like, you know what? They're going to have to push the envelope to get my respect.
You're throwing a rock back. I
Probably.
bet I could see
I'm
you
probably
throwing
gonna have
it
something
back.
there.
Yeah. 100%.
They
But-
see it. They see it when they drive by. They're like, oh, there's old man Hannah picking up rocks at the right us later.
I mean, I like the idea of having like, you know, firecrackers or something. Just something, a little
Some
scare.
fucking firecrackers or some Roman candles.
Something.
Yeah.
You know. You know. Because then I was lighting fireworks. I'm an old man. You know.
I
I
know
can't
what
see.
you're
I messed up. You know what I mean? I think I can say that now to some extent.
I don't know what was going on.
I didn't know.
What
I
was
thought
that?
I thought it was a candle.
I mean,
A Roman candle.
well, it's like the movies with a stick of dynamite. The dynamite wears off. You don't even read it anymore. It's just a red stick.
You
don't know.
And you're like, oh well, this looks like a piece of dynamite, but fuck it. Just fuck you, kids.
Yeah, I've been dreaming to be old for a long time.
Are you?
So as far as age, I guess.
What about? Are you comfortable with death?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Who's comfortable?
There's some people who are pretty comfortable with it.
But-
They're like accept. They're like, okay, well, death, you know, it's coming. So you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it yet.
Well,
Wait, can we go back to this Major D story real quick?
Yeah,
Oh.
but we're on this real quick.
he's
man.
rolling.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to know about because our viewers get a little different point of view on death with Hannah. Me, I'm just
I
like
can't imagine.
sit and think about death.
Well,
it's a scary
you
feeling.
know, it's part of life, no matter what. Because think about how many people you know that may have already died, or people who were pretty young who died,
Mm-hmm.
and so they didn't even get an opportunity to worry necessarily if they were young. And here you are, worrying about it. What's that accomplish?
It doesn't accomplish a lot, but
I understand what
I
you're
feel like
saying.
it helps a little bit, like trying to like maybe work through it.
Really?
When did have you always just been like, okay, well, it's gonna happen?
Well,
Were you ever once afraid of it, or was there a
I think-
time when you were like,
probably as a kid, it's kind of intimidating. Certainly, like some of it's like you don't know. What's
was it
going-
intimidating when you got into your like 20s and you're like, man, I'm time's flying.
Well, you know me. To some extent, I've always felt like time has flown. I'm always like, man, I felt like I'm already old. And
Yeah.
people say, you always get told you're young.
You're the best years of your life.
You're young. I still get told that. It's like I must be around people who are just old. You know what I mean? Like, but you're always going to be told that by somebody. Oh, you're still young. I remember when I was that age and I did this, this, and this. It's like, but you still know that. For me, you go, I can't necessarily accomplish, maybe not accomplish, but physically do some things with the ease I could 20 years ago.
Right.
And that's, even at the age of 21, you go, man, I'm not in the shape I was at 18. Not to say I couldn't have gotten that shape, but I certainly wasn't. And you go, and you know that your body's already falling apart. Because like, your cells are reproducing, dying, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you're dying the moment you're born, basically.
Right.
Right? Like, you already know that, and if you know that once you're that age. Most people do. Like, you know, even if you're young, you know that your body is physically dying. So you kind of accept anything can happen. But when you're 21, you feel like you're living on the edge to some extent. Like, you can get
living on the edge.
you feel like you can get away with some stuff.
Now,
Like, I wouldn't do anything too crazy now. I'd be like, I wouldn't survive.
I couldn't handle it.
You know what I mean?
My little heart.
Shoot. No, anything. Body, heart.
What if somebody walked up to you one day and was like, "Hey, I can make you live forever"? Would you do it?
I'd be like, come on.
And it was foolproof. He for sure knew how to do it. You knew he knew how to do it. He showed you the way. He introduced you to some people, gave you the proof. Are you gonna live forever?
No, not on this earth.
No, you wouldn't want to.
Good choice.
No, because I mean, is it in that scenario? Is it just me?
No, there's gonna be more people.
Do I like these people?
You might. I don't know. It's kind of like growing up all over again and like getting to know people.
It
But
sounds.
you're just gonna stay the same age.
I don't know. It sounds unappealing to me, actually. Because forever
Forever.
on this earth.
On this earth. I mean, I'm sure, but that's the thing too. You ever think like people are like, oh yeah, if you could live forever, I'm like, I feel like this earth is gonna end, and then what? I'm out fucking in space, floating around, maybe seeing somebody every millennium float by me. Hey, John, right? John, I seen you 800,000 years ago, right? Yep, that's me. Hey, see you another 8,000 years. Bye. And you just float on by.
Yeah, that's unappealing.
Yeah, but then again, I'd probably say yes. I'm not a big fan of like dying right now.
No one is.
Yeah. I mean,
But anyway, this Tenacious D story.
Yeah.
When we first met, got these tickets, said, yo, you're going. Connor's blowing vape clouds. Hannah's thinking the fucking car's on fire. He doesn't know what's going on. And so we get to Tennessee, and we go to this parking garage.
Nashville.
Yes, Nashville, Tennessee.
It's grown since I'd been there last.
So Hannah was like, all right.
It was a dusty cloud
Yeah.
of a town when I went there the first time. So it's semi, like, this
that
is
shows
large.
how old he is right there. It used to be the Dust Bowl back then. So we go to this parking garage, and he's like, for some reason, he's never been in a fucking parking garage.
I have.
And when we were with him, it did not seem like he'd ever been there.
I was just getting the confirmation.
He's sitting there putting in his fucking Speedy Rewards card, and for whatever reason, it worked.
Oh
his
my
Speedy
God.
Rewards got us in. I don't know how. I don't know if this was some kind of like satanic thing you got going on because the D man, because fucking I guess Jack Black's a Satanist.
I guess.
So we got in, went to the concert. The concert was pretty good.
It was pretty sweet.
And yeah, we left. That was pretty much honestly just the best part of it, just getting into that fucking.
Yeah,
Well, no, when you fell asleep on the way home and I was driving.
Oh God.
I thought he was asleep. No, you got your vape out of the way.
Yeah.
And I swerved on it. You didn't wake up. I was like, he freaked me out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, okay. And you just.
Yeah, dude, I ate my Burger King and I was out.
I didn't remember that part. That's funny.
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, I remember it. It gave me a heart attack.
I was trying not to fall asleep, but I was passed out, man. I
Dude,
was so tired.
I mean, how many years ago was that? Would you
Oh
say?
God, 3?
Probably
at least 3.
So I'm mid-30s.
I'm still in high school.
Because
Were you in high school still?
Yeah.
me and Kaylee hadn't got together
But
yet.
you were 18.
Yeah, I was 18.
Okay, because I remember asking your brother, like, dude, he's got to be 18. I'm not. I know there can't be someone under 18 coming with me on this trip.
Yeah, I was 18.
He's like, I'm already
This is
going
not-
with you, Jacob.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of strange. Like,
It's kind of just like
Yeah.
our dad taking us.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be that way.
It kind
I
of
didn't
ended up
feel
being
that
that
See,
way.
it's for that, like, yes, about getting older. It's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But he was 18. I was like, okay, technically adult. I don't care if you're in school. Technically adult.
Tell us your eye patch story.
What?
Tell us the eye patch story. The
iPad.
eye patch lady.
Oh, iPad lady?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said iPad. And I was like,
Break
oh.
it down for us.
Boy, what do I start? Okay. had a friend who worked in social services. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And he worked in the Indianapolis area. And, when you work in social services, you can't give names. And sometimes, in some way, and really you're not supposed to tell details. But this particular story had ended up being on the news, and I think it was in the paper, in my memory. But, anyways, I remember telling you, and I don't know what the conversation was and how it got brought up, but he was telling me the story about he had a grandmother who was taking care of her grandkids because their parents, for whatever reason, lost their children, weren't doing the right things, so she had them. But she was doing bad things as well. Okay? And so...
This old lady's doing bad?
This old lady's doing bad things.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and so she had gotten caught with these children in a motel room, and the children was naked, and she was naked. Okay, and so obviously that was a big problem, so on and so forth.
Maybe they were just taking a shower.
In the bed?
Oh, well, in the...
In the shower? She was naked too! That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
They were getting a golden shower.
Oh, God.
So anyways, they got taken away. There's a lot of details.
Grandparents.
From the grandmother. There was no grandfather. So anyways, to come to find out, there was more to the story of this grandmother. She wore an eye patch. Okay? She only had one eye. She was known around town of whatever suburb of Indianapolis, or you want to say Metro Indianapolis, because she was a lady of the night. Okay?
AKA prostitute.
So, she was known to offer a certain service.
Sexual services.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Sexual.
Yeah.
What are we talking? BJs, ZJs, HJ?
Well, this is terrible. It's not the most comfortable thing to talk about for me, but she... How do I say? I mean, she had contracted a lot of STDs, venereal diseases.
Okay.
Okay? But when he told me the story, I mean, I was like, no, this can't be true. This can't be. This is ridiculous. But it ended up being on like the news or whatever. Like she was caught doing this weird stuff. So, but she had a special clientele that came to her specifically because she wore an eye patch, and
like
she had an eye,
eye.
and she had a hollow eye socket. So you can only imagine what they were.
What were they doing?
What,
Come on.
I'm not gonna. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You know what they were doing.
What were they doing?
I mean, the STDs that she had contracted were in her eye socket.
So that only means what? That these men were doing.
They were going to town on the eye socket, which is awful.
They were fucking her eye socket. How silly.
And she was an old woman.
How deep did this go?
I don't know.
Did you not go and
I
find
remember
her?
when he told me
But
this.
I need to find the news article.
I remember when he told me this, I searched for the news article.
There is a
the
new-
whole time.
She was on the news, and it might not have been for that, but about
They were probably
about-
like, hey lady, give us a... I just blink at the camera.
no, they were.
Give us a wink, or blink, really.
I feel like the news. Nice. I feel like the
You don't
news.
see my STDs?
The news article was did talk about her being, a lady of the night, and being.
I love how
and taking-
politically correct you're being.
That's politically correct.
I feel like the lady of the night.
Lady of the night.
The other things are kind of.
They're probably like, this old prostitute.
I don't know if they said that. I don't think they said lady of the night.
This
either.
old washed up prostitute.
I hope they said Lady of the Night. That was like
There was something there.
the headline.
I remember being like, "This is this story." No.
Oldest
And
lady of the night.
then it's like her picture, her mugshot was on like the news, and she had the patch on.
The patch, and you're like,
I was like, "That's the lady."
you're like, my tummy hurts
I
now.
was like, this is what. Like I was telling Connor, I was like, "What is like mind-boggling?" People went specifically to her
Yeah. They said, "You guys hear about an old Patchy?" down the
because
block?"
of apparently what she could offer.
I mean, think about it.
The eye socket.
What, LeBron?
no.
What's LeBron famous for? basketball. You go to watch him play
I
basketball.
was like, where you going
Yeah,
with this?
I mean, that old lady is famous for the one eye.
I'm glad you brought it up because
One-eyed
I
Willie.
always spaced that story.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's what should be One-Eyed Willie from fucking the Goonies.
See, his eye socket wasn't very deep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do are they fucking?
I
her
have
brain?
no idea.
Maybe that's what happened.
I have no
Maybe
idea.
she was a normal lady, and then one day somebody's like, "Hey, can I fuck your eye socket?" And then he went too far, fucked her brain up, and she was just like, "You know what? This is just."
Hey, this represents the last episode. Do you think that's a fetish? To fuck an eye socket.
fucking
Let
eye
us know
socket?
down
Yeah.
below.
Dude, if you get comments of people and like, I know a guy.
I love.
Oh my
There's
God.
people.
I know a lady.
There's people who fuck dead bodies, necrophiliacs.
But if you know this,
Yeah, but
this patch.
there's dead bodies all over the place. How many one-eyed people are running around on the street?
Does it not seem like you'd want to do it?
Good grief, no.
That's our
Say-
opening line, though. You want to fuck this?
Hey, you trying to fuck this eye socket?
Yeah.
You trying to fuck this
man.
eye pussy? You ever? So you're saying if your wife lost an eye,
Oh no.
you would be like, "Hey,
Hey,
that I've tried all the other holes.
I would.
Oh,
Let me,
yeah.
Let me scoop the rest of that out, huh?"
What?
Like you said, though,
What? What?
there's brain damage to this old lady.
There might be.
Well, she may not even be alive anymore. That was
I
years ago.
guarantee she's probably
But
dead.
usually, no.
And this is
Usually
your
with those
grandma.
scenarios, those people live forever.
Yeah, but I
You know what I mean?
mean,
Like, they live for a long time.
dude, honestly, what if we could find her?
Yeah. What
And
if,
go
if
interview
Well,
her.
I really thought he would find something, this picture or an article or whatever it was.
That would be
News-
amazing to interview her and ask her what's going through her head.
You know what I should do? Is I should make a few texts
Ah,
and see if I can
Figure
get
something out.
a name or a date or something. Because I bet I could.
oh my god.
dude, it'd be good. That'd be
Because I am kind of curious.
yeah.
Because it sounds like
Maybe
it
we
sounds
could-
like an unbelievable story.
Oh, yeah.
Because even when I was told it, it was
You'd
unbelievable.
shit. What if we got her on here and then like we invited you the same day and we're like,
No.
"This is your biggest fan,
No.
Yeah.
Patchy."
Yeah.
We got $50 for you, and it's got Hannah's name on
I
it.
have no desire. No, I would not want to meet this woman. It would be.
Why not?
Oh,
you
no.
wouldn't like be like,
What would you ask her?
I'd be like,
What
what
would
do
you
you
ask
mean? What would
her?
you ask her? I'd say,
I got
hey.
the most cutthroat question.
I'd ask her-
You would just be like, "Is this true?"
I'd ask her, hey,
Hey,
is
you
that
get fucked in that eye.
I'd say in your old age, is that eye socket still wet or is it a little dried up now?
Oh man.
She was old then. I mean, she would be old.
She had
Maybe she wasn't. That's the thing. Maybe she wasn't that old.
Yeah,
Maybe she just
wouldn't
looked
it?
old.
and that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I need to send out some text and see if there's any information that would be helpful.
Pertaining, if you know a lady who has an eye patch who has venereal diseases inside of it,
If
please
this is your
contact
grandma,
Average
let us
Brothers.
know. Imagine.
If your grandma has an eye patch, send her our way.
Yeah.
No.
Ask
No.
ask her the simple question. What'd you do with that fucking eye socket back in
See,
the day?
actually, I'm curious how she lost the eye.
That's his fucking one question.
Okay, you know.
How'd you lose that eye? Hmm? Maybe she lost it.
I know. I know you're
Yeah.
gonna say something terrible.
I'm just saying maybe she lost it in a
In an
prostitution accident.
Yeah.
Maybe one of her Johns was like, maybe she come across Jeffrey Dahmer. Maybe she's a survivor.
Doubtful.
Doubtful, but never know.
Never know.
Scooped it out. Yeah, because I mean, losing an eye.
I mean, really, you just need to know if anyone else has any.
Would you
Bizarre
would you rather
stories down
lose
that
your
road.
sight or would you rather lose the use of your legs?
What are you talking about? The legs are gone. I want to cut these things off now and put pegs on.
What?
Yes, they hurt all the time.
Then you'd be perfect for her. Little peg leg and one
I
eye.
mean, I've
leg.
talked about it many times.
Why do you want to cut them off?
They hurt.
What do you mean they hurt?
They hurt. What do you
They're
mean?
just sore from.
My feet have always hurt. I've got bad feet. So if you gave me the option, foot or eye, foot.
Foot for sure.
We could put a peg on this thing. There's no an eye. What do you do?
Maybe one day if I ever become rich, I will fucking
Cut my leg off.
talk to a doctor and I'll be like, hey,
Find something. Figure something out.
I'd
Dude,
be
I-
like, can we cut these guys' legs up, put some fucking pegs on them for him? He is so down. But then again, like when we had Kendall on, they won't let you just like if you like. I even asked about cutting this off, just the tip of my finger. I was like, "Yo, can I just cut this off?" And they were like, "No, we just just can't cut.
We have to get you in a mildly accident.
Yeah.
Oh my
With
god!
your legs.
I have to be maimed?
But listen, honestly, 911 had to be on, ready to be hit. We'd probably, honestly, call 911 first. Hey, we've had an accident with a chainsaw. And then
What? I'm not going down that road.
What else do you want to do?
What route would you like to go down? Hit by a car?
No. Be drugged under with a licensed doctor.
They'd be like, have this licensed doctor get over here and everything.
Yeah, we have to send you to like.
Are you saying I have to be like?
Yeah, you have to have an.
It had to be an accident
for it to get amputated. You know.
Okay,
like.
well,
listen.
I will continue with the pain.
We cut the legs off. Where would you want them? Knee or shin or?
Well,
I'd say right
if not in the scenario you're talking about, the scenario of eye or leg.
Eye or leg, sure.
Okay, we're going knee.
Okay, so I cut it off
It's
with
gotta
the
be-
chainsaw on the knee.
No.
And then what I had to do is take the leg and just chuck it somewhere because we couldn't. We would be like, we don't know.
That's awful.
We came here and this guy cut off his legs or something. He called us first, and we rushed over here as quick as possible.
Oh my god.
And we've been looking for his legs, and I just go like this, the leg behind me, and I kick it and be like,
Yeah.
we don't know where they are.
Yeah, as a dog, the neighborhood dog's got a hold of it, running around.
Like, can we honestly just get him over there, put some pegs on him now? Like, just skip the whole leg process?
We did the hard shit.
And then he'd be like this, he'd be like,
I mean, I
You'd
would
be
rather
like this, you'd be
I
like-
would rather keep my painful leg and foot.
I'd be like, the peg, the
There
peg.
you go.
The peg,
Oh
the
my
peg.
god.
I like to think if I'm going down, if something happened, all right, and I had nothing there. They have pretty good technology to get like a leg there and stuff,
Sure, yeah.
and a foot. I don't want that.
You don't want that?
It's not. If I'm already take advantage of the situation. A wooden peg is pretty cool.
You just kick motherfuckers.
You're just taking a wooden peg, that's it?
I don't know. There might be a.
You're telling me you'd take a wooden
What if
leg
you want
over
both legs? We should
It's
go
not-
double wooden?
Double wood?
That would be wild.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, go. I got 3.
I don't think that's. I don't know if I can walk.
You would be a straight up pirate.
Can you walk with two wooden
Yeah,
pegs?
you'd have to go to Somalia and join the pirates down there.
No.
They'd be like,
You'd be like 2 pegs.
I guess I put it.
they'd be like, this guy's the shittiest pirate I've
All
seen
right,
in
how
my
about
life.
this? I want a wooden peg as an option. You know how, like, I assume you can change things out?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
How about that? Doesn't that seem more reasonable?
Okay.
That seems
I'm just saying a peg, like if you had a wooden peg,
But you're saying you.
that'd be pretty cool.
Why would you want a peg leg over
It's a talking piece.
a talking piece for who? You're not going on any blind
Someone-
Are you
dates.
kidding me?
Whoever,
Peg leg.
if I'm walking down the street and I got shorts
Oh, we
on,
can hear you.
exactly, and someone saw a wooden peg, they're not just going to stare, they're going to ask. Because, you know, if I had a normal weird leg of sorts.
I mean, honestly, roping in back into your old man story, I'm sure, like, the kids and the...
Oh, that would
they'd,
be great.
They'd be sleeping, they'd hear the...
That'd be great for your
Dude,
image.
terrifying. Well, I tell you what, if I ever lost a hand, I'm getting a hook.
Oh, yeah.
A hook has got to be an option.
Oh, yeah.
So you agree with me on that?
I'd do a sharp hook.
I mean, you always see those movies where the guys got the, you know, he changed the pieces out.
Yeah.
I mean, hook, knife.
Well, we had
Fork.
Kendall on here. Did you not? I mean...
I missed that one.
Oh, you gotta watch it. He's got all these cool technology
Does
gadgets
he?
and stuff, yeah.
That is wild.
His hand and everything. Fucking insane.
Oh, I gotta check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
That is
But,
wild.
so I can't believe you'd go for a fucking peg. Imagine just like, you just be laying there and just clicking them together on your tummy. You're like,
Look.
you could keep tempo for a fucking orchestra. Click, 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 click,
I mean-
click.
Imagine they gave him little short stubby pegs, too. So you would
Oh,
be
you're
a-
so
So
little
I'm
tiny.
short?
You're a little
Yeah.
tiny guy.
That would be
That would-
hilarious.
I don't know how I could take that. I don't know if I could take that.
You'd be down here now.
Yeah, you'd be our height.
Dude, that'd be...
I'd
That'd be funny.
kick you over a couple times.
Because think about it. You have some long legs to the knees, and they just give you,
That would
like...
tick me
I'd
off.
push you over.
That would tick me off.
I'm like, come on, Hannah. What you gonna do, peg leg, huh? Can't do nothing now.
I would laugh later, but at the moment,
Like,
I would be hot.
used to be an angry man, so now, what are you gonna do now? Like, oh, you little angry peg leg guy?
Dude, I tried to stab you with my peg leg.
That's sharp. He'd sharpen it, come back over, and just walk.
Like, and let me be specific. Like, I don't envy. I wouldn't. It's not. I wouldn't envy anybody who's in that situation.
Right.
Obviously, this is just a theory, and
Right, yeah, we're not
You
saying
know.
we're gonna do it.
no. Well, I'm just saying, like, some people are stuck in that
We're
position.
gonna break in your house.
Like,
and,
like your friend who,
Chop your leg.
with the hands, like, you know, that's tough. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But if I'm put in that situation, I hope I can make the best of it and try to get For me,
Peg leg.
that'd be like like kind of a humor and
Peg leg race.
yeah.
What is this? A peg leg race?
Oh,
Peg leg
Yeah,
race.
peg leg.
Peg
That's the way to
leg.
go.
I don't think I could do
What
it.
would you do? You would lose the eye?
I'd fucking listen.
Oh, no.
Listen. Either way,
There's no eye.
See?
if I lost my legs, I'd wheel myself into a pool with a couple weights on me.
What?
Yeah, I'm not living. No way.
Dude, what do you... Dude, there was a guy...
Oh wow, I get to fucking skip the line at Disney World.
There was a guy who had no legs, hips down, no arms. The guy had like 10 children.
And what? He's
That's a success story.
He's happy. I wouldn't be happy if I lived my life with legs.
He had the waddle where he went.
Yeah, and he's probably squirming on top of his woman. He couldn't even
I'm
thrust.
saying.
Either that, or literally his wife used him as a sex doll.
It's true.
He made it happen.
I couldn't do it.
happened 10 times.
You know? And you're just saying, like, knee down. And you're giving up?
I don't know. I'd probably give up.
I don't know. I like
If they-
the comedy factor of it. It would be great.
Try to make the best of it. I mean, it's all... Hey, I say this a lot. Like, yeah, it would suck.
I would...
But...
I couldn't handle it.
Come on.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be intense, obviously. For a while. It would be intense and emotional.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
But... You would just give up?
I'd probably give up.
That makes
for
me
a minute.
sad.
I don't know.
Would you give up?
Hell no.
I'm
You
not
should
the
sit down, you know?
strongest.
I could live my life happy. You got me fucked
Like,
up.
hell, I ain't gotta do
He's
shit
like, I just
again.
put my peg
I'm
leg
getting
up on the
money.
table
Yeah,
and...
I bet.
I'm
Everywhere
getting
I went,
monthly
I'd make
checks.
sure people knew my peg leg was in the room.
And see, I look at the peg leg like, this is something I could... Like he just said, you know, I might go over to your house for free food. I got a peg leg now? I'm getting in...
The advantages.
I'm getting...
Yeah.
I'm working it.
Yeah.
I'm getting so
I mean,
much
within
free
reason.
food.
Within reason.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna, like...
Just like when somebody's like dying or something, they make a bunch of food, you know, and you go over to visit them, and like there's food everywhere. They'd be like, "Yeah, just come over here, and I just want a bunch of fucking food because he has peg legs now, and he just thinks he's entitled to all of our food. So
Or
get
they
cooking."
might just think of you more like, man, I'm making dinner. Maybe peg leg Hannah wants some food today. Give
See?
him a ring.
Hey, they might come over.
Yeah.
Hey Hannah, I know you bring going to. Yes, I'll come over for food. Sure, don't even.
Yeah, I don't know if I want
don't
people coming to me.
Don't even
necessarily.
finish that sentence. I know what you're asking me. I'll be
But-
over.
If you got room for one more,
Like, but can you guys come pick me up? I can't really drive.
Yeah.
I'll finagle that.
I need a ride.
I need a ride, please.
Well, they have the taxis now. You know?
Lift.
There you go.
Shit.
I would.
I could make a
even
phone call, my
even if
rotary.
I could get into a car, if I had, like, I'd be like, "Hey, could you come help me?"
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
See?
Come here.
See, I think you could make it. I think
right?
you could make
I'd be
it.
like, "Papa,
Exactly.
help me in the car."
I think you could have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd act like I'm asleep
Okay.
when I get there, and they had to pick me up, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's just like when I was younger."
It's like it's in that situation. Would you want your legs back? Most definitely. But if you're in the situation, you're gonna do the best. Think about going to a concert. You're gonna get some prime seats.
You might get on the stage for being the peg leg guy.
Now, with that person, whoever's getting those prime seats, would they love to have their legs back at any cost? Sure, but they're gonna take advantage of the prime seats. They're not gonna sit out on the lawn.
Yeah, I feel like you get
You know what I mean?
you get stuck out in the lawn. It gets a little muddy. You get where you got stuck in.
They're getting good seats.
What if you hit quicksand? You're fucked.
Quicksand.
You know, you just-
Yeah, I guess you're done.
You could be an
You're done
Olympic
for,
swimmer.
man.
You could put flippers on your little legs,
You do it.
or a mermaid tail.
Yeah.
My wood pegs, they would like.
Just like you
they
got
would
different
swell.
ones, you take it off and slip on a little fucking.
Oh, I'm swimming nubs.
Or what if you had like a fucking thing you could get on, it's like a boat, and you just and you just jump
Special
in.
attachments to your peg.
I'm not sure how we cut on pegs.
I don't know. I don't really know. I think it's because the eyeball lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
crazy.
God bless her if you're still there. Help us
One
out.
of a kind. She's one in a million.
Make
Yeah.
sure you watch over us, Mrs. Eyeball Lady.
Watch over us with your one eye.
Patches O'Houlihan, please. But I hope your Venera disease got figured out.
Cleared
Yes.
up.
They cleared up. Only gave you problems every so often. I don't know. I mean,
Guess it wouldn't be a big deal if you didn't have the eye, you know?
yeah, but if you were a guy going, and
No, I think it was like
yeah, but if you look
glowing.
if you looked at her eye hole, what would be the? Why would you be like, A lot of diseases in there. Should I?
People are sick and like violent.
Like, where does this thing end? Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're thinking.
I wouldn't even.
They're beyond perverse. I don't know.
I'd be so scared.
Yeah.
I'd be scared. Honestly, this is gonna sound really
You
bad.
wouldn't.
I dropped like a peanut M&M in there or something.
And you just hear it. Is it gonna? That's deep.
You just go.
I'd be scared to like. I don't know. Like I know it's like not plausible, but like if she's like next to me, I'd be like, don't touch me or anything. Because I know that's not how like they're transmitted, but I'd just be so scared.
Well, the fact that I wouldn't want to even be in the same. I don't want to know anything, and you're debating the scenario if I'm with this person.
Yeah.
Like curiosity's.
What if it's like a subway?
You're very curious.
I am.
That's dangerous curious.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
I kind of like it though. I'm into it. I want to see this.
Yeah.
I
lady.
mean, no.
I want to see this whole.
Yeah, I do. I want to see.
It's like so old, and she has a wooden iPad. She goes.
Oh my.
Please help.
What if she just lifts it up and her eyes just filled in? Just filled in.
What if she had like a drawn in eye?
Like damn.
Like, damn, girl, those eyes are doing something to me. I
Has anyone
see.
told you you have pretty eyes?
I see why it's $50 to fuck that thing. Huh? It's a steep price, but for a lovely eye socket.
Oh,
Touch her.
lovely. Shit.
Stroke her
Gosh.
side. I'm like, but also you're a pedophile, lady. You took those grandkids for what?
Come on.
Imagine we got her here and we start beating the shit out of her. Why
For
not?
the kids.
It's for the kids. Neither in her other eye.
Yeah, she probably get more business though.
Yeah.
We knocked her
I hope she's out of business.
No,
No,
God,
she's
no.
still slaving, man.
I don't know how that was.
Somebody like that still slinging her
I
eye
don't know.
socket around.
I do not know how that was
Down
even
about it.
business.
And we're at an hour.
Are we?
We are.
I'm not
Just rocking
surprised. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it was a good one. Anything else we would like to say? Because an hour's an hour,
So
baby.
much.
I know. Well, honestly, we'll have
I feel
Hannah
like
back on.
you know.
Yeah.
Definitely have Hannah back on.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man.
He's
of
the
the
special
hour.
guest. You know?
He should be the
Yeah,
special guest
special guest.
forever. But the tripod has fallen.
It hasn't fallen.
Third leg was a little wobbly. You know,
Yeah.
Third leg was a little wobbly throughout the summer times.
It's been rough,
Yeah. So,
unfortunately.
well, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed last episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram,
Oh,
Facebook, The Average Size Brothers.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and if
Send it to your brother, sister, mother.
and maybe even your grandma with the eye patch.
Yeah,
So.
if you got her.
We'll see you next Monday. God bless you.
Solid.